success formula: discipline over motivation. There comes a moment in every person's life when the noise becomes unbearable, the noise of excuses, the noise of doubt, the noise of watching other people win while you keep telling yourself that your time will come someday. And someday never arrives, because someday is the favorite word of dreamers who never become doers. Look around. Everywhere you turn, people are waiting for the perfect opportunity, waiting for confidence, waiting for motivation, waiting for someone to believe in them, waiting for life to become easier. But history has never been written by those who waited. History has always belonged to those who moved, those who acted while afraid, those who continued while exhausted, those who remained focused while the world was distracted. The truth is simple, yet most people spend their entire lives avoiding it. Motivation is powerful, but motivation is temporary. Motivation is a spark. Discipline is the fire. Motivation is the wind that appears and disappears. Discipline is the mountain that remains standing through every storm. And if there is one formula that has separated ordinary people from extraordinary people throughout human history, it is this: discipline over motivation. The farmer does not wake up every morning feeling inspired. The soldier does not train because he feels excited. The master craftsman does not perfect his skill because every day feels magical. They show up because they have trained themselves to act regardless of emotion. And that is where greatness begins. Not when you feel ready, not when conditions are perfect, not when everybody supports you. Greatness begins the moment you stop negotiating with your own potential. Most people think success is created in public. They imagine the applause, the recognition, the wealth, the awards, the followers. But success is born in private. Success is born in the mornings nobody sees, in the workouts nobody applauds, in the books nobody knows you're reading, in the sacrifices nobody understands, in the decisions nobody celebrates. Before Thomas Edison illuminated the world, he spent years working through failure after failure. Before Henry Ford transformed transportation, he endured setbacks that would have convinced most people to quit. Before Walt Disney built an empire of imagination, he faced rejection after rejection. The world remembers the outcome, but destiny was shaped by discipline long before success arrived. And that same principle governs your life. You do not become successful when you achieve the goal. You become successful when you become the person capable of achieving the goal. That transformation happens long before the result becomes visible. A seed spends a long time underground before anyone sees a tree. A diamond spends ages under pressure before anyone recognizes its value. A champion spends years in obscurity before standing on the stage. The process is invisible before it becomes undeniable. Yet most people quit during the invisible stage. They mistake lack of evidence for lack of progress. They assume nothing is happening. But some of the most important transformations occur beneath the surface. A river does not carve through rock because of power alone. It carves through rock because of persistence. Day after day, drop after drop, year after year. That is discipline. And discipline is what transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary outcomes. The mind is a fascinating thing. It will either become your greatest servant or your most dangerous enemy. Every day, your mind is listening to the story you tell yourself. If your story is filled with limitations, fear, and excuses, your actions will reflect it. If your story is filled with purpose, belief, and determination, your actions will reflect that as well. Napoleon Hill understood something most people never fully grasp. Thoughts become things, not because of magic, not because of wishful thinking, but because every thought influences action, and every action influences destiny. The person who constantly thinks about failure behaves differently from the person who constantly thinks about possibility. The person who expects obstacles to defeat them approaches life differently from the person who expects obstacles to strengthen them. Your future is not being created by circumstances, it is being created by the meaning you assign to circumstances. Two people can face the same setback. One becomes bitter, the other becomes stronger. One sees an ending, the other sees a beginning. One sees proof that they should quit, the other sees proof that they should continue. The event is the same, the interpretation is different, and that difference changes everything. That is why discipline begins in the mind. Before you can discipline your habits, you must discipline your thoughts. Before you can control your actions, you must control your focus. Because wherever focus goes, energy flows. And wherever energy flows, results follow. The modern world is designed to steal your attention. Every notification, every distraction, every meaningless comparison, every endless scroll, each one quietly pulling you away from your purpose. The greatest battle of this generation is not physical, it is mental. The battle for attention, the battle for focus, the battle for control over your own mind. And those who win that battle gain access to something more valuable than money. They gain access to themselves. They gain access to their highest potential. They gain access to the version of themselves that most people never meet, because most people spend their entire lives distracted from who they could have become. But not you. Not if you are willing to embrace the formula that has built empires, changed nations, and transformed lives. Discipline over motivation, again and again, day after day, choice after choice, because success is never a single event. Success is accumulated, one disciplined decision at a time.